that the prophets of Baal and prophet Elijah, they used the same resources, but their possibilities were not the same. They were not the same, but they used the same time. They used the same time, but their possibilities were different. When you meet a man who is worshiping the true God, you can use the same energy, but your outcome will be different. Hallelujah. You can meet a man on the street today who is a true worshiper, who is using the same resources, but your outcome will not be the same. Because where there is God, the human power is multiplied. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. You may not see the glory of God today, like it was with Elijah. He said, I am the only prophet that I have remained. I am only daughter that I have remained. I am only a student that I have remained. But something happened. But something happened. There is something happened that the impossibilities were turned into possibilities. What seems impossible in your life, God is turning those things. God is turning those things. He's turning those things into possibilities. Hallelujah. Amen. Possibilities are turned into manifestation when the reality of God has been worshipped. Has been worshipped. Where there is no worship of God, possibilities cannot be turned into manifestation. Hallelujah. A lot of people, they are not living a life of manifestation because they are refusing to worship God. They are refusing to worship God. Hallelujah. Amen. The mountain of possibilities is the mountain where impossible become possible. The mountain of possibilities is the mountain where doubts are turned into courage and crushed by realities. Hallelujah. Amen. The mountain of possibilities is the place where obstacles are turned into miracles. Hallelujah. If you check the life of Elijah, you will see that Elijah was in a point of death. Because Elijah said that if my God will not bring fire, you must kill me. If the God of Baal will not bring fire, will also kill them. So Elijah was in a point of death. Was in a point of death. But God turned into those possibilities into realities. Hallelujah. Where you are worshiping the true God, you always have confidence. You always have confidence. If you were Elijah of those days, could you have said that if my God will not bring fire, kill me? Could you have managed to do that? If you are the Elijah of those days, could you have managed that if my God will not bring fire, you must kill me? Could you manage that? You are going to understand that Elijah was not living in the myth God, was not doubting his God. But in this generation, a lot of people, we doubt God because we are not praising the true God. A lot of people, we doubt God. Elijah had to say, you have to kill me. if my God will not bring fire. Elijah had the confidence that my God will bring fire. My God will bring fire. And he licked a point that bring water on this altar. He said, bring water on this altar so that you can see that the God I serve is a God of possibility. Where there is water, fire cannot burn. Fire cannot burn. But that time, when the fire falls, the Bible is telling us that all the sacrifice were burnt. Where there is impossibilities, there is possibility. So Elijah had the confidence in his God. This morning, may you have the confidence in your God. Even if the enemy say that will kill you, say that God will give me life. Even the enemy say that you will not manage to succeed, say that there is a success. Say there is a sufficient of grace. Hallelujah. So Elijah had to gain the confidence in his God. Elijah had to personalize his God. Hallelujah. If this God will not serve us, we will not even worship to this idol. This is the Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They said, even if our God will not save us, we cannot bow to this idol. There was confidence in Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego that even our God will not save us in this furnace, but we cannot bow to this idol. There was a confidence of their God. Unless we gain the confidence in God, possibilities cannot be turned into realities. Hallelujah. They say, even if our God will not save us, we will not bow to this idol. Hallelujah. Imagine you were Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Imagine that you were Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And they said, who put you in this furnace if you will not bow to this idol? Who put you to this furnace if you will not bow to this idol? Could you have not worshipped the idol if he will not put you in this furnace? And the surprising thing, the fire was burning in the furnace, and other people were becoming burnt in the furnace. And they said, King, we cannot worship this idol. Even if our idol, even if our God will not save us, will not bow to this idol. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
A lot of people in this generation